Hey, it's Big Guy Ben here at Wally's Malls. We have two different types of spaces that we generally rent. One of them being the showcases that you can see there. Other ones being the booths that we have around here. Now, our showcases are generally cheaper than a booth. They start at $85 for one of our 4 foot wide, 6 foot tall showcases. Our booths in Grand Rapids start at $2.50 a square foot. Out in Lake Odessa, they start at $1.10. So when people see a showcase for $85 a month versus a 6x7 booth in town that might be $105, or a 10x10 booth out in Lake Odessa that's $110, people always tell me, well, I'd like a showcase, I'd like a showcase, I'd like a showcase. The reason I want to know is what you're selling when I talk to you the first time is a showcase might not be ideal for you. Showcases are great for delicate, high dollar, theft items, but they're not best for everything. Let me show you a few showcases. So this is one of our vendors, Angela, Love Vintage 66. This is a great showcase. As you can see, lots of delicate glass. This is an ideal thing for a showcase. If you have lots of pieces that can get broken or damaged by not handling them correctly, this would be a reason to have a showcase. You can display it well, you can protect it. We have floor walkers that walk around the mall to unlock the case to get items out. So this is a great use of a showcase. Another example of a need for a showcase would be coins. Coins are a high theft item. So as you can see here, this is vendor 2030, Ron's showcase. It makes perfect sense for him to have a showcase versus an open booth out on the floor, because stuff like this, unfortunately, is a very popular item for people to steal. So a showcase makes sense, again, in this instance, for his items. Another example of a great use of a showcase would be jewelry. Higher end jewelry, another theft item, is something that you'd want locked up. So getting a showcase to do jewelry would make sense as well. Sports cards, Pokemon cards, another great example of items that need to be locked in the showcase, because again, they are theft items or they could be damaged and not worth as much. So these two vendors here, 2260 Rick and 2202, great job with the showcase. This would be an example of something that doesn't probably necessarily need to be locked up in a showcase. This is vendor 33, and you can see a lot of like the wrestlers, maybe a little bit just to protect the packages, but for the most part, a lot of this with the DVDs and the lower end VHS, those are items that could go onto a shelf on the floor, and you get a lot more space and bang for your buck on the floor versus a showcase. So a booth like this would be better out on the floor. Another example of a showcase. This is vendor 33 as well. A lot of decor stuff. You can see the showcase isn't very full. For $85 a month, you get a lot more bang for your buck on a booth. I think a lot of people think that it's cheaper. That's what I want. It's got shelves so I can move right in right away, which is true, but you got to think long term, because you're only going to have one showcase, 4 foot wide, 6 foot tall, at the $85 a month, versus what you're looking at here, an open booth. This is approximately a 6x6 open space. As you can see, instead of having one 4 foot wide, 6 foot tall showcase where it needs an attendant to get the items out, you can see how many multiple shelves you can get in here of open air items. And if you're on the corner, you get wall space and exposure as well. This one at $2.50 a square foot is $90 a month. Yes, it takes some more work starting out because you're going to have to find appropriate shelves to sell your items off of. But you can see here, you can clearly get at least 3 times as much merchandise in one of these booths. And when you're a vendor at any mall, your goal is to make 3-to-1 sales to rent ratios. So if your showcase or your booth rent's $80, your goal should be at least $240 a month. It's a lot easier and a better chance to be profitable with an open air space, because you got 1, 2, 3 sets of shelves in this space for $90 a month. So when we ask you, what are you selling when you're talking about a showcase, A lot of people think, well, that's the easiest and cheapest solution because I don't have to bring shelves, I can save money, but you're paying for it every month. Unless you have showcase items, you'd be a lot better in an open air booth. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us at Wally'sBuys@gmail.com. I'll be glad to answer any questions, as I do for vendors at all of our malls. But if you're considering being a vendor, think about your products and what would be the best presentation for them. Because most of the time, this open air booth, once you bring the shelves in, it's going to be a lot more productive than the showcase. Thanks.